Hi, I'm Mr. C, the teacher, and this is my classroom. So grab your tools for school and join in with us. Or sit back and just watch. And let's go on a learning journey together. Because you're watching Lessons from the Classroom. Well, let's take a look at what the topic for today's episode is going to be about. In this episode, we're going to talk about health, your health, and we're going to look briefly at different parts of what help you stay healthy. Things like on this poster here, brushing your teeth, washing your hands, taking a bath or a shower, right? Getting some exercise, eating healthy, relaxing, getting rid of your stress, and getting a good night's sleep. They're all things that contribute to you staying healthy.
Worksheet lessons.
So here we have a worksheet called Healthy Me as part of our Health and Germs theme unit. If we take a look at the pictures, they show lots of different ways to stay healthy. Brush your teeth after every meal. Eat healthful foods. Get enough sleep. Exercise or be active every day. Wash your hands. There's lots of other things we could add to that. Take a bath or a shower every day. Make sure you laugh lots. Wear a mask if it's, you've got a cold or a flu. Lots of different things. So we've got some dotted writing to help us out here. Let's take a look at writing a few different things on how to stay healthy. First one says, wash my hands. So we'll go over the dotted writing. Wash my hands. And that's very important because we get germs on our hands, and then our hands tend to touch our face, our eyes, our mouth. Of course, our hands touch our food, which then goes into our belly. So easy to get germs inside your body if you don't wash your hands. The next one says, laugh lots. So laugh lots. There's actually a lot of science that says people who are happy, people that laugh a lot, tend to stay healthier. So laugh a lot. On the next line, we have the sentence, brush my teeth. So just like washing your hands, it's important that you also brush your teeth to kill off any germs and bacteria that's in your mouth. Helps prevent cavities, but also helps prevent you getting sick as well. There we go, brush my teeth. The next one says, get exercise. Get exercise. And as a kid, you do lots of running around and playing on the playground, running around in the park. But lots of exercise. Other people will go to the gym, or skip rope, or they'll play a sport like soccer or baseball or hockey, or they'll do lots of stretching, yoga, all those sorts of things. Okay, on the bottom line, this next one says, eat healthy. Eat healthy. We all like sweets, but it's important that we eat lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, drink lots of water, eat healthy. And the last one we have is sleep well. We know scientists say that we have to get a certain amount of sleep every night, and it should be a good night's rest. Some people say about 8 hours is a good amount of sleep each night, and some kids will need more than 8 hours. Sleep well. So there we go. We've got wash my hands, laugh lots, brush my teeth, get exercise, eat healthy, and sleep well. Last thing we could do is add some color to our pictures. All right, it's time in our episode for this segment that I like to call the Did You Know Fun Facts.
Did you know?
Here's some interesting facts that you should know about germs. Germs are super tiny. You can only see them with a microscope. And they live around us all the time in all places. The air, the water, the ground, and on all surfaces. Not all germs or bacteria are harmful. In fact, some are important to have inside our body to help us digest our food and get the nutrients out of our food that we need. But some germs, of course, can make us sick. And germs can live, well, anywhere. Inside our bodies, on our hands, on surfaces like desks and floors and toilets. And those germs can get inside our body all sorts of ways. Through our mouth, through our nose, through our eye ducts, through our ears. In fact, often a sore throat is caused by germs being in your eustachian tube in your ears. If you get a cut on your skin, germs can get in there as well.
Oh, yuck.
But the term germ specifically relates to bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa, all four of which can cause diseases.
Now you know.
You know, one of the healthiest things you can do for your body is to drink plenty of water. After all, there's no sugars or fats or chemicals in water. And your body is mostly made up of water. Your brain floats in it. That's why you get a headache if you get dehydrated. So you should drink, well, probably at least 2 of these a day, 4 to 6 glasses a day. Drinking plenty of water is good for you. Many viruses and fungi can only last sometimes up to a few hours or a few days, but other germs like E. coli and Salmonella, which can cause you to be quite sick,
I don't feel so good.
can last sometimes for up to weeks, especially on things like clothing and other surfaces that are a bit porous. Cold viruses that give you the common cold can live on hard surfaces for up to a week, although they tend to lose most of their strength after about 24 hours. And Streptococcus can survive for months on hard surfaces.
Come on down, Streptococcus. What have we got for you today?
Germs that are airborne, in other words, they come out of somebody's nose or mouth when they sneeze or cough, might only last in the air for a few hours. But if you think about it, someone coughs or sneezes in a spot, and you happen to walk through that spot even 20 minutes later, there's a good chance that you can breathe in that virus that made them sick. And then you become sick. Hey, one of the great ways to learn how to stop spreading your germs, cough down the front of your shirt. Or sneeze down the front of your shirt. Achoo! We also learn to sneeze in our elbow, but when you do that, make sure you're not sneezing over your elbow.
No, sneeze into your elbow. Sneeze into your elbow, not over it. No, sneeze in.
But really tight into your elbow so you can't really hear it. Never sneeze or cough in your hands. Because then your hands are covered in that germs and you start touching other surfaces that people touch and pick up those germs. So always sneeze deep into your elbow or down the front of your top. Did you know sneezes can travel up to 10 meters? That's like 30 feet. It's a good idea to cover them.
Slow motion moment. Oh, that's just gross.
By the way, coughs spread germs actually worse than sneezes.
Oh, yeah, thanks so much for spreading your germs. Thank you.
Hey guys, Mr. C here, and we're going to talk about washing our hands today using the surgeon's method. Let me show you. So this is called the surgeon's wash. First thing you want to do is you want to use hot water, not the cold. A lot of students, they want to use cold water because they're worried about burning their hands, but hot water or at least warm water. Let's get the hot water going here. Wet your hands first. Plenty of soap. And so, for the surgeon's wash, put soap onto the palms, soap onto the backs of the hands. And then what you want to do is you want to lace your fingers inside. So you're doing this. And then you want to lace your fingers on the backs. So you're doing this. And the other hand, this way. You want to do your wrists. Most people don't get their wrists. You want to get the thumb. Both hands. Again, some rubbing on the palms, some rubbing on the back, just to keep those bubbles up. The more bubbles, the better. And then the last one is you're doing your fingertips. So fingertips get scrubbed here. Fingertips get scrubbed in the palm here. Some people like to do them at the same time, like that. And put their hands. You're doing it like that. You're getting those fingertips there. Some people will do their fingers individually as well. But lots and lots of bubbles around the wrist, around the thumb. Interlace on the back. Interlace on the front. See how soapy my hands are? Now it's time for rinse, and you really want that soap to stay on for at least 30 seconds. It takes a while for the soap to absorb all of the oils where the germs are, and if you're doing it too fast, it doesn't have a chance to properly absorb those oils. There you go. Rinse them off. Done. Notice, dry my hands with the paper towels, and I've still got the water running, because what I can do is I can use my paper towel to turn my water off. And then my paper towel is going to go in the garbage can. So I know lots of people say throw paper towels into the recycling bin, but you really don't want to do that. Paper towels have germs on them. The best place would be to put them in a compost, but if your compost is eaten by animals, then no. Has germs on it, so garbage can is where it goes.
Washing. First, we turn on the tap. The water starts to fill the sink. It gets higher and higher and higher. Then we get our hands wet. Next, we add some soap. The soap makes bubbles. And more bubbles, and even more bubbles. Now we rinse our hands. Turn off the tap. The water goes down, 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 all the way down the drain. Now we dry our hands, and don't forget to sing happy birthday twice while washing.
You know, I love being surrounded by great books, because one of my favorite things to do is to read stories. So, let's make some time right now and read a storybook. This is story time. Hey, John and Ava, you know how we've been learning about staying healthy? And one of the things we've learned about staying healthy is how to breathe in order to relax. And this book that I found is all about breathing and relaxing just before you go to sleep. You guys want to hear the story?
Yeah.
Breath by Breath. Written by Stephanie Wildman and illustrated by Estefania Razzo. And read by Mr. C, the teacher. Okay, Flor and Roberto, Big Brother Louis began. Let's show Mama and Papa we can go to sleep all by ourselves. All ready, said Flor. One more game, begged Roberto. Please, the twins said at the same time. Jinx, Flor and Roberto poked each other. Aha, said Louis. You jinxed each other, which means you can't talk until I say your names. Now, will you cooperate and go to bed? I have a surprise. Flor and Roberto looked at each other, then back at their brother. They nodded slowly. "Okay," said Louis in his serious voice. "Flor, Roberto, time for bed." When the twins settled down, Louis told them, "We're going to have an adventure before we go to sleep." "Sounds fun," said Roberto. "I love adventures." "How?" asked Flor. "We're in bed." "We're going inside our bodies," said Louis, "like deep-sea divers." "What?" the twins asked at the same time. "Jinx," they said. "Flor, Roberto, we're not jinxing here. We're going to sleep," Louis said. "But really, how can we go inside our bodies?" asked Roberto. "We follow our breath," said Louis. "Start by closing your eyes," Louis told them. "Take deep, slow breaths. Imagine you are riding a submarine with a shining light. Dive in from the top of your head. Look around in your brain as you keep breathing slowly. Breathe in and then out. Inhale and exhale. Follow the light down your throat and down into your heart. Hear your heart. Thump, 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 thump. Pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. Feel the love inside and all around you. I feel it. Me too. Shh. Remember, we are breathing here, not talking, Louis told them. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now, travel to your shoulders. Imagine you have 2 submarines, one at each shoulder. Flor urged Roberto. Your sub should visit me, and my sub will visit you. Shh, Louis continued. Feel your shoulders and back. Slide down your arms to the elbows and down to your wrists. Feel every finger from your pinky to your pointer and your thumb. Give each a gentle jiggle. Return to your chest near your heart. Look around as you breathe, whispered Louis. Feel your lungs get bigger and smaller as you inhale and exhale. Follow the light down to your tummy. Move down the legs and follow the light past your knees. Glide down the front of the leg to the ankle. Don't forget, deep breath in, deep breath out. Now, check out your feet and visit each toe from the pinky toe to the big toe. Inhale. Exhale. Louis paused to breathe deeply, and the sound filled the room. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Come back to your heart, he spoke softly. Thump, 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 thump. Pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. Feel the love inside and all around you. Feel the light warming your whole body. Louis pulled the blanket up to Roberto's chin. Roberto snored a little. Louis patted Flor's back. She smiled and sighed, and he tiptoed toward the door. Sweet dreams, hermanitos. A tip for parents and other caregivers. The yoga body scan, a practice that draws one's attention to parts of the body in order to reconnect with one's physical self, inspired this book. Caregivers might record themselves reading the body scan portion of the book for a child to listen to when they leave the room. Tip for kids. Have someone trace your body on butcher paper or shelf liner. Mark each body part where the submarines travel and trace the journey that Flor and Roberto took. Wow, guys, that was a really good story. And look, at the back of the book, there's a page that shows that we can trace around each other, and then we can do this exercise of pretending we have a submarine that starts at the head, goes down to our heart and our lungs, and up to our shoulders, down our arms, and down our legs. Would you guys like to do that on paper? All right, let's do that. Well, hey, John and Ava, we did a really good job of drawing out John on the paper. And we've got John's heart here. And just like in the back of the book, we're going to follow along and guide our imaginary submarines all the way through the body. You got your felt markers?
Yeah.
And you got your submarines. Let's dive in down through the head, down to the heart. That's the way. Now let's draw our dotted lines going from the top of the head down to the heart. Good job. Now, let's take our submarines and we'll go to each shoulder. And then draw those dotted lines in. We'll go to the shoulder. Good job. Now, let's send our submarines all the way down the arm and all the way to the fingers. And let's draw those dotted lines going down the arm. And we'll draw a dotted line on each finger. Imagine that submarine is going down your arm, and you're relaxing your arms. And you're relaxing each finger. Great job, Ava. And then let's put some dots into each finger as well. Great. All right, let's send our submarines back to the heart. Good job. Do you want to draw your dots going back up to the heart? Just like in the book. Excellent. Let's send our two submarines together just down to the lungs, which is right around here where we breathe in and breathe out. Let's make some dots come down to our lungs. Good job. Let's send our submarines down to our tummy now. Good, and draw some lines coming down to the tummy. Good, you've got your submarines together, but now we're going to split apart again. So come on down lower here to the feet. And let's send each submarine down a leg and all the way to the feet. And sail all the way down there. We're imagining the submarines going through our body and we're relaxing our legs. Let's draw some dotted lines going from that tummy all the way down the legs. And all the way around the feet. Nice job, guys. Did you have fun doing that? All right, thanks so much for helping me out. All right, it's the time in our show when we have a segment I like to call Questionable Letters. And that's where a viewer writes in to ask us something. Let's see what today's letter is going to ask.
Questionable letters.
All right, great, thanks. Okay, we've got another letter from a viewer. This letter asks us the following thing. Dear Mr. C, I know I'm supposed to wash my hands every time before I eat because the germs on my hands might get me sick. I wash my hands because every surface that I touch has germs. But how long do germs live on different surfaces? This letter's from Becky Bacterial. Well, thanks, Becky, for your letter. It's a great question. And it really depends on the type of germs and also the surface. As we know, germs are very, very tiny, tiny creatures. They're also the oldest living creatures on our planet. Bacteria, that is for sure. Now, there are about 60,000 different types of germs that we come in contact with every single day. But only about 1 to 2% of those germs can actually be harmful to us.
Wait, that's still like
And
600.
of course, those germs can get into our body and make us sick, although we usually don't know they're going to make us sick until they're already inside our body. So although our skin and many other parts of our body help to protect us from germs, everything from nose hairs to eyelashes to stomach acid, but it's still important that we wash our hands regularly. So different germs can live on surfaces for sometimes only a few hours or sometimes a few days. But here's an interesting fact. Did you know that the germs that can cause the stomach flu
Oh, I still don't feel so good. Oh, what, this guy again?
can live in dirty carpets for up to a whole month?
Yuck, that's gross.
That's why it's so important if you're playing on a carpet area to really make sure you wash your hands afterwards. After all, the carpets usually pick up what's on the bottom of our shoes. I, for one, never wear my shoes inside the house. I always take them off in the garage. All right, well, it looks like I've got plenty of art supplies and tools on hand, so I guess it's time to do some quick art creations.
Quick art creations.
You know, often when we try to picture what germs might actually look like, we often think of the cartoon characters that we see. You know, cute little guys with little faces like these guys. And yeah, they're adorable, but this isn't what germs actually look like. In fact, most of them are fairly dull to look at underneath microscopes. They tend to look more like, well, like this.
Or this. Or this. Or this. Or even this. But no, not like this. Instead, they look like, well, this. And this.
But I think for today's activity, let's stay with the cute cartoon characters and we'll draw a cartoon of a germ. There's my finished germ.
Hello there.
Well, this is all the time we have for this week's episode. Not good. I gotta get checked out by my doctors. We'll see you next time.
Say Mr. C. This is just gonna hurt a little bit.
Oh.
Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you learned something new and had fun doing the lessons. Join me next time on another episode of Lessons from the Classroom.